Do not be sorry, be better. Kratos said it, and Santa Monica did it. In today's video, we'll be reviewing God of War Ragnarok, a deeper dive into the mythology that will be bringing an end to it all. A game like never before. And also, if you're a PS4 user, we've got some news for you. Your PS4 might just take off this time. Let's dive right in. First up, can you escape your fate? In the 2018 remake of the game, we saw the retired Spartan god of war Kratos and his son Atreus on an amazing mission to scatter the ashes of Faye, Atreus' mother. The dad-son duo were on a journey to the tallest peak in Norse mythology's 9 realms, and while they were at it, they unknowingly set off Ragnarok to the end of the world, which got them caught up in some drama with gods of the land. In the end, they find out that they've been fulfilling a prophecy and that all their steps were foretold. The cycle ends here, is what Kratos said, but apparently it doesn't. The sequel and the leaks we saw portrayed a very sad Kratos. Let's hope we don't cry by the end of it. The way 2018's title left things off, and how we found out a few things, no, we're not giving you any spoilers. The cycle might just stay there. Also, you're going to encounter as many fictional beasts to obviously slam an axe through their head as you can fit in a game that has a runtime of over 30+ hours. Moving on, the combat is amazing. God of War Ragnarok has the most seamless combat out of all its predecessors. It's multi-layered, but it's easy to get a hang of. And you might not know this, but you can definitely take our word for it. It feels immensely incredible to hurl that godly axe at a monstrous enemy, and then it comes right back to Kratos' palm just like a boomerang. Not to forget, you can send the enemies flying back and rip them apart with your shield. Now, you might have experienced it yourself that a little fighting here and there makes a game pretty bland and boring, but that's not the case with this one. The variety of enemies from all the 9 realms keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering what new mythical monster you might be fighting next. And while we're at it, we'd like to make a request real quick. Can we please have a ban on all the enemies that blow up after they've been killed? There's a ton of other ways we can lose our health, and you'll need all that health because in Ragnarok the fights are, well, let's just say they're challenging. Following up, the gods are classic as always. If you've played the game, you'd probably know that God of War's gods are quite interesting. They've got very human problems, but very inhuman abilities. God of War's gods are the interesting classical kind. Volatile screw-ups sent mostly mad with boredom by immortality. They have that fascinating combination of human problems and inhuman abilities. Thor drowns himself in drink to numb himself, like many men, but he also enjoys sending his magic hammer through hordes of the undead to relieve stress. Superhero fiction too enjoys humanizing its subjects to enliven the old save-the-world narrative, but unlike superheroes, these gods are neither tediously moral nor massively concerned with the greater good. They are usually just trying to deal with their own issues, which have compounded over the course of hundreds of thousands of years. Freya is figuratively trapped by the lingering trauma of an abusive marriage, but also literally trapped in Midgard by a complex magic spell that you spend a significant portion of the game trying to undo. Moving up, Atreus is no longer a boy. Amid Midgard's winter, Kratos and Atreus are still hard at work polishing their skills. The youthful half-giant, half-god has become a combatant with far more experience. Remember when Kratos said, "You boy are clearly not ready"? Well, that's now the case for Kratos himself. As any father would, he's having a hard time accepting the fact that his son is growing up. Atreus, who is now much taller, has a much deeper voice and is rapidly becoming the god he was destined to be. Following up, the new realm alert. Svartalfheim, the first realm you visit in the early stages of Ragnarok, offers a peek into a world beyond the barren wasteland of Midgard. Despite seeing several interesting places in the first game, most of them had a lot of video game level feel to them, but now the world seems like it has been lived in quite a lot. As we step foot into Svartalfheim, the home of the dwarves, Odin has declared Kratos a god, which means a god who's unwelcome. Dwarves run in a different direction due to this realm-wide order. This foreshore community looks like it's straight out of a book. Hugely detailed homes, NPCs, and alleys pass as we sail down the river to our destination. Mimir, who is still attached to Kratos' waist, provides some background information on this realm. The dwarves were compelled to harvest their natural resources under Odin's oppressive rule or risk extinction, which led to a destroyed environment. Fun fact, Mimir took part in this decision while he was an advisor to Odin. This dialogue triggers a brand new side quest that requires us to deactivate 3 mines spread out over the map, but we've got far more important business to take care of before we do that. Coming up, why Svartalfheim? Our main reason for traveling to this realm? Find Tyr. Atreus has been slipping out and going back to the god shrines that can be found all across the first game, though to discover his actual purpose as Loki. Atreus is now capable of passing through them, taking us to a dimension between worlds where he informs us that the carvings are a spoiler rather than a record of the past. As they prepare for battle, Kratos and Atreus seek help. The Svartalfheim mines include both battle skirmishes and puzzles puzzles that must be solved with the game's two primary weapons. The game does a fantastic job of describing what can and cannot be interacted with, so you're not just swinging your axe around the area blindly. The puzzles are once again tough but not irritating. Not to forget the PlayStation 4. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nope, just the PS4 being itself. Seems like PS4 consoles make a lot of noise when playing God of War Ragnarok. Although God of War Ragnarok looks stunning and plays well on the console, critics have found that it has very loud, continuous fan noise. First time? Initial impressions from those who are testing the game have mentioned a noise problem. When compared to its higher definition PlayStation 5 version, reviews of God of War Ragnarok on the PlayStation 4 are generally favorable. However, you know the game's gonna be great when the console starts screaming. Or have you not played Red Dead Redemption? Since God of War 3, which was available on both the PS3 and PS4, God of War Ragnarok is the franchise's first cross-platform game. When creating purely for one system, studios do not have to cope with these difficulties. High fan noise has become a problem since reviews have been released. The game appears to be operating smoothly though. What's more, let's talk about the graphics. Although one wouldn't anticipate it, the visuals won't be on pace with those of the most recent console generation. It's impressive that Sony was able to make the PS4 system, which will undoubtedly become obsolete in the next years, play the game rather well. The 1080p version effectively maintains even the details. This appears to also show that the hardware is trying really hard to give the gamer a fluid visual experience. The reviewer began a fresh game because God of War Ragnarok doesn't accept cross-platform saves, which made it easy to compare the different game versions. Although they claim that the system screamed during the whole game session, the visuals are shockingly crisp. The noise was louder than the reviewer has ever heard the console make. You're saying there's more? Up next, a tiny piece of advice for console players. When a console is exerting so significant an effort to maintain cooling, it's often not a good indicator. This shows that the PS4 is close to overheating and might possibly harm itself. It didn't cause any other obvious issues though, and the game appeared to be functioning smoothly during the 3-hour gaming session. Although it can't be completely ruled out that this was a problem with a particular system, it won't hurt to clean the PS4's fans before starting to kill gods. Lastly, blood, sweat, and tears. See what we did there? The game we had been waiting for is right around the corner now, and if you've seen the reviews, then you know it might just be going up for the next game of the year. With almost a 10 by 10 on every critic game rating site, the game seems absolutely phenomenal. You better save yourself from all these spoilers. Trust us, the story is worth it. All thanks to Corey Barlog, who asked us to be patient, and we were, who brought us this groundbreaking story. Anyway, that's a wrap for today's video. How excited are you for the game? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed. And with that, see you in the next one. Peace.